It's lovely bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. Now, I don't know why, but all day long I've been singing it, and I don't know why. I think I do know why. My friend Justin, who runs the pub, the Steam Coach, as you know, where I work on Friday night, Steam Coach in Hemel Hempstead, Boxmoor, Hemel Hempstead. He, for some reason, I said to him today, because he's not having a good time at the moment, dears. No. Oh, he's split up with his other half. Oh, what a oh, we've had it all, dear. Oh, on the phone at 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, God. I like to do that. You know, I like to do the helping thing. Anyway, I said, how are you today? And he said, oh, you know me, just bobbing along. And that was it. All blinking day long. I like that. Quite like that word, don't you? Blinking. Because it's not swearing. And it's not nasty. It's not even offensive, is it? It's like using a swearing word without actually swearing. My mum, of course, would have said to me, well, why do you need to say that? No, she would have said that. Blinking. So he said, I'm just, you know me, just bobbing along. And ever since then, I've been singing that song. Do you know where it's from? Yeah, pay attention and see if you can guess where it's from, okay? It's lovely bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. What a chance to get a better peek at the plants and creatures of the deep. It's grand when you're bubbling. I don't know the rest of it, but you get the general idea. Come on, where was that song from? I know, it's in the back of your mind now, isn't it? It is in the back of your mind. I was a bit like a rap artist then. I started, you know when you see them rap artists and those hip-hop people, usually great big lads with big gold chains on and that sort of thing. And they move their hands around. I remember Suko telling me months ago that these are actually signs. All those hand movements are gangster signs to do with their gang. You know? And people said to me that I should never get involved in gangs. But this is one big gang, isn't it? We're all part of the United Kingdom Talk gang. But does that make me a gangster? That's the question. If you're in a gang, does that mean you're a gangster? And we are one big gang. The United Kingdom Talk gang. Maybe we should have our own hand signs and that sort of thing. What do you reckon? I know who could help me with that. PK Puree and his friend Joe down there in South London. Part of the South Massive, aren't you? You are part... We need our own hand movements. Anyway, if you're brand new to the show, a warm welcome along to you. My name's Chris Reardon. This is United Kingdom Talk, a 3 times a week talk show available on various days of the week if you're listening by radio. If you download the podcast of the audio or indeed the video, and both of these you can now get from iTunes. In the last week or so, we've just had the green light given that now United Kingdom Talk video is also now available on iTunes, so you can now subscribe to that and download it onto your little... what's that thing? It's not an MP3 player, is it, when it's the videos? What is that? Is it an MP4 player? Oh, I don't know what it is. But anyway, you can now subscribe to either the audio or the video, or indeed both, now on iTunes. Just open up your... What's iTunes? Joy wants to know what iTunes is. Joy, iTunes is like an online library, okay? It's like going into a large library and seeing all these books. Well, iTunes is a large library of... Large library of music and podcasts like this. And you go in and choose what you want and you click a little subscribe button and then it downloads, all free of charge, dear. There's no charge for me at all. I am completely free. I mean, years ago, to be honest, when I was a bit younger, I do feel I ought to have charged for it, but I didn't then, and I certainly can't now. All right, so don't start this early on in the programme, please. Now, we're going to have... So did you guess what the film was? Eh? Bobbing along on... Did you guess? Yes, that fantastic classic, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. And I have to tell you, that was the first ever film I went to see. Yeah, we went to the Marble Arch Odeon in London, and my dad took me there, and it was in the 70s. And I should always remember we're sitting there waiting for the film to start, and suddenly there was a blackout, and all the lights went out. We were having a lot of trouble with electricity blackouts at that time because there were lots of miners' strikes and things like that, so we had to go back another day and watch it. All right. Okay, so it's Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Lovely film. Who's that woman in that? She was in Murder, She Wrote, wasn't it? Angela Lansbury. And the fantastic Terry Thomas. Now, Terry Thomas, I think he died a few years ago. Oh, I hope I'm right there. I'm trying to knock people off before they've actually gone, dear. Yeah, Terry Thomas. I actually repaired his telephone. I didn't meet him. He wasn't in at the time. And it was a great shame because Terry Thomas was a big, big star, certainly here in the UK, many, many years ago. And he fell on bad times, and when I went to his house, it was a little bit not dirty, just a bit run down, and you could see he was someone that had sadly been forgotten. And unfortunately, I think sometimes in the entertainment world that happens, and it's all very sad, really. On one hand, I suppose people like me who do this sort of thing and DJing, you do want the spotlight. I won't lie to you. You know, you do kind of want the spotlight a bit. But when the light goes out, there's nothing. And people who give up all their... you hear stars that give up all their families and what have you to do that. I think it's probably the wrong decision because you got a lot more love out of a family life, don't you, eh? Anyway, there's an email address to the show. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I won't talk about anything else now. Straight into the emails. Hope you watched the opening show for the Olympics, incidentally, from China. They've done a blooming good job, haven't they? Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I didn't watch the whole 4-hour thing. I've got it recorded on my digital recorder thing downstairs. I'm really looking forward to finding some time to watch that, I hope. Oh, by the way, I've put a tie on today. I don't know why. You know, I get these ideas. For some reason, I've put a nice pink tie. It's a little bit darker. I think, is it pink? I think it's a pink tie and a white short-sleeved shirt today. We're back in the studio, incidentally. We're still in the studio because the weather has been quite vile the last few days. It's not cold, so I can't complain, but it's all, at the moment, it's all clouded over and it's vile and it's drizzling outside. And this really does affect my solar panels making the electricity. Now, you remember last week, was it either last week or the week before, I was showing you the meter, which I've got next to me here. Let me just go and get it now. Which was almost at 2,000 watts, okay? When the sun's on those panels, you get 2,000 watts. Today, 200 watts. That is a huge, huge difference. But we're still making something, so we're still... let me just put this back. We're still saving the planet, so to speak, aren't we? Right. Here we go, then. First of all, we've got an anniversary. Now, I'm really sorry about this tea, but this came in a little bit late to be included on Saturday's show. And it says, "Hi, Chris. I hope you're having a good week so far." I do. And I love my nights off. I've got a couple of nights off at the moment, Mondays and Wednesdays. The Wednesday night will disappear in September because I've picked up somewhere else to do Bingay in North London on Wednesday nights from the 10th of September. But at the moment, I'm enjoying 2 nights off. And people say, "Oh, what do you do? When do you do?" They assume that you've got nothing to do, don't they? When you work as much or perhaps do as much as I do, the moment you've got a night off, people assume that you've got nothing to do. Nothing could be further than the truth. I find plenty to do. I like to watch a little bit of telly. I like to cook perhaps a meal or something like that. Last Wednesday, shock horror, I cleaned the kitchen, dear. I cleaned the kitchen from top to nearly bottom. I say nearly bottom because I didn't actually do the floor. I got fed up at that point. It's true. I cleaned the work surfaces, but I couldn't be bothered to do the floor. Anyway, T says, I enjoy your talk show and was wondering if I could be really cheeky. There are lots of cheeky people on here. Don't worry. You be as cheeky as you want. With a face like that, my dear, you can be as cheeky to me as you want and get away with murder, probably, all right? He says, wonder if I could be really cheeky by asking whether you could give a shout out on your well, I don't do a Friday show. The show is on, well, if you're downloading it, which you are, the shows are on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturdays, okay? That's when the new ones go up. Of course, you can listen anytime you want, all right? Just go to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk and listen to any of the old shows, or indeed watch the more recent ones over the last... Well, how long have we been doing the video now? February, March, April, May... Blimey, 6 months we've been doing the videos now. Where's that time go? In October, this show will be 3 years old. Can't believe it. A lot of people would say, how comes you found so much to talk about? I don't know. I just do. I open my mouth, and the rubbish comes pouring out, dear. Now, he says, could you give a shout out on your show to me and my hubby on our 2.5-year anniversary, which is on Saturday the 9th of August. So I'm afraid I just missed this by one show. It's not too bad. Better late than never, dear. Look at it this way. If you want a hip replacement operation on the NHS, you'll have to wait about 6 to 9 months, okay? If you want a request read out on this show, I can do it within a week. Huh? It's better, isn't it? Maybe I should be taking some of those national insurance contributions for myself, dear. I do a better job than the NHS. I should consider perhaps doing minor operations here as well. Yes, I can see that. People laid down on the floor there, little knife in my hand, making the other... I could do cosmetic surgery. Let's have a look at you. Now, let's have a look. I'm looking at your photo, T, and I'm kind of thinking that your cheeks could be doing with going a little bit inwards. Because they look like cheeky, look like a hamster. They look like cheeky cheeks to me. Eh? What do you mean? I heard that. Why are you mentioning my nose? Do you think my nose needs to be... I'm only joking. I'm only kidding with your kid, T. Don't always going to come around and beat me up now. I could do little operations here, couldn't I suppose? A little bit of a snip or a tuck here and there. I don't know. No, you look quite gorgeous. Don't worry. Yes, it's our 2.5-year anniversary on Saturday, the 9th of October. So, hang on. Do you think... I think also... You know what I'm going to... Oh, hang on. I've just closed the programme down. 1 minute. Let me just bring up a little bit of music for you on your anniversary. And while I'm waiting for that to open up, let me see where It would be a great surprise for him. I've just been so busy recently with university. I missed his birthday, and I feel I owe it to him. He's the love of my life, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with him. I wish that was me. Why isn't there anyone for me like that? It's not fair, is it? Right, hang on. Where's my bit of music? Just a minute. Because I'm so mad today. Let me see. Where is it now? Oh, I will find it. Don't worry. Is it under jingles? Come on. Where are you? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now, I know you're... How old are you? I reckon you're early 20s. Oh, hang on. No, you're a black lad, aren't you? They usually get away with years a lot younger than they really are. Let me see now. Why is that? It's not fair. All black people look younger. It's not fair. I want to look young too. My name is T, and his name is Kenny. He's not Kenny the DJ that I know, is he? He used to DJ at Trade, is he? Kenny the DJ. Anyway, I really would appreciate it, mate. If you can't do it, no worries. Have a great week, and lots of love from T. T, do not worry. Oh, yes. The anniversary wars. The anniversary wars. That's it. Dance around the room. Oh, wow. Marvellous. When I dance, da-da, da-da. The anniversary wars with you. There we are. That's enough of that. All right. Happy anniversary, you two. Sorry I missed it by a couple of days. And, yes, any birthdays, any anniversaries, anything like that, I'm always willing to do those. You could let me know. If you can let me know, say, a week in advance or so, you know, at least a few days in advance, then I can do it on the correct day. OK? Just let me know. Usual email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Quickly then. From Jade, that's Suko's daughter in New York. Hello, Jade. All right, darling. I was asking her if she could send me a panda and a penguin in the post, because I do feel I need new pets. And she says, sorry, but I cannot give you a panda. They are an endangered species. Not if they're here, dear. They wouldn't be endangered here. I don't know, would I be allergic to a panda the same as I'm a little bit allergic to my cats? That's the question. Well, I don't know. But if I wasn't, maybe a panda could give me cuddles at night like a teddy bear. I have got a teddy bear, you know. No, I'm not going to show. Do you want to see it? Hang on a minute. Let me get my teddy bear. 1 minute. When I grow, the anniversary love was with you. I don't know why I'm dancing. I'm singing away now. I'm in a singing mood today, Jade. Here's my teddy. Look, little devil. My teddy. Someone bought me this a couple of years ago. Isn't that nice? Look. Oh, my teddy. Oh. Of course he sleeps with me. Right on the pillow next to my little head. Someone's got to cuddle me at night, Jade. Oh, don't start all that again. It's always very sad. You know when you go on those rides at Disney and things like that, and you queue up to get on the ride or something like that, and you get to there. How many, mate? And oh, just one, please. It's all very sad, really. Go in the supermarket. I buy dinners for two so that it doesn't look like I'm sad. It's true. All right, Jade. Jade says, I got rubber bands because Jade has got braces on her teeth. I've got rubber bands that go from the back of my top teeth and connect to the bottom. They really hurt. They are supposed to adjust my bites. And that's from Jade in New York. Yes, Jade, I know exactly what you're talking about, my darling. Years ago when I was 10, 11 years old, I too had braces, which I've mentioned to you before. And I know you're talking about the little rubber bands, aren't you? And they go on your back. You got your back teeth at the top. And oh, hang on a minute. I didn't describe my teddy bear, did you? Just to the listeners, did I? Okay. It's a little teddy bear. It's about 1.5 foot long. It's like a beige colour. And it's got little beady eyes. Okay. And it's got little red horns and a red heart. And it says Little Devil on it. Yes. Little Devil, right? That's my teddy bear. You sit there, my darling, and you listen to my little show. Feel free to join in, teddy bear, if you want to. Yeah. So I know the elastic bands, the little ones, and I go, oh, that hand. I've got a top tooth and a bottom tooth as well. And that's it, isn't it? And they do pull a bit, but the whole idea, I think, is to stop you keep opening your mouth so it's open so wide like that, of the what am I saying? The idea of those is to stop your mouth opening so wide. All right, Jade. Now listen, my darling. I know they're probably a little bit painful at the moment. The pain will go, and in years' time, you really will be pleased that you had them done. I hated my braces. Now, and I know sometimes when you're young, it's hard to accept from an adult when they say it will all be worth it, and you kind of don't believe them. But if I tell you that, I have been through that. You see, I had to have had those horrible braces on my teeth. Not the same as yours, because I know yours are glued on now, aren't they? When I had them, they were big metal bands that went over each tooth. I actually had to have 4 teeth out to allow the rest of the teeth to be pulled back into place. And I hated the braces. I used to say to my mum, no, I don't want to go, Mum. Honestly, Jade, I'm so pleased I had them done. It really is worth it. And because I can share that experience with you, take it from me, right, it really is worth it. A little bit of pain now. Come on, it's not that bad, is it? Eh? And that pain will subside as the days go by. The only thing is, of course, every time you go back to the dentist, my darling, I know they probably tighten some wires and then you wake up and your teeth ache. But again, it does pass eventually. It really is worth having done. You know, maybe a year. I don't know how long you're going to have your braces on. Perhaps a year or two of your life out of, 90, 100 years probably for you, or even more. I don't know. It's not much, is it? All right? Think of it as a percentage. 2% of your life to sort your teeth out. Hey? There you are, my love. And don't worry, United Kingdom Talk, as hosted by me, will be with you for every single year of your... I intend to go on forever. Forever and ever, and ever and ever, you'll be the one. Okay. On we go then, my dears. Hello to Dawn in Brighton. Gateway to... No, that's Balham, isn't it? Brighton, down in the south of the UK. And she says, how dare you? As much as I admit... Because I wrote to her recently. Dawn used to come to a 70s and 80s night that I ran in North London for many years in the 90s. And I wrote back to her. And I said, do you remember the Wombles? Because I used to play the Wombles and she would be dancing on the dance floor to Womble songs. Underground, overground, wombling free, the Wombles of Wimbledon. Well, I think it was Remember You're a Womble we used to play, isn't it? Remember you're a Womble, remember you're a Womble, remember what a Womble, Womble. We love it. She said, you reminded me, how dare you? As much as I must admit, I did like the Wombles being played. That was most definitely not my favourite tune. My favourite tune was the Proud One by the Osmonds. We never used to play that. We used to play Puppy Love and Let Me In. And there was another one as well. Let Me In. What was the other one? Can't remember now. Let me in your arms again. Let me give my love to you. Oh, those Mondays at the Black Cat were fantastic. They really were, weren't they? She said, a nice little smooch to round off the evening, and I think we all used to get down, or whatever the youngsters say these days, to It's Raining Men by the Weather Girls. That's right. It's Raining Men. Hallelujah. You're right, my dear. Oh, what fun we had. Not sure if it was being high on life. Right, she says, more work. About to listen to your next instalment. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you very much, my darling. Did I read your other email about the chip shops? Did I read that or not? Oh. Do you know, I can't remember now. I'm going to read it again, just in case we've missed this out, because the trouble is people have been waiting quite a long time for their... We've had a couple of complaints, actually, dear. One from Ross P. in Norwich, who should know better. How dare you complain, Ross? You should know better. And Suko as well was feeling a little bit left out because we went a few shows without reading out her emails. The truth is we've just fallen so far behind. And that's what's happened. That is the truth. You know you can trust my little beady eyes. I'm not sure I read this out, Dawn. And, of course, it's also become a little bit confusing for me because I'm not exactly sure where I am. But Dawn wrote a while ago, still not managed to watch the show. She says, I'm outrageous that anyone dare pass comment about your size. If a man in middle age can't spread out a little, who can? She says, no, only joking. This size zero thing is out of hand, Chris, and they never be happy till we are all size zero. And as you know, they have more chance of seeing you marry the Queen than seeing either of us in a size zero. I know what you mean, dear. She says, I thank you for not oh, that's okay. I shan't mention that, but my darling. My love, we never get personal. We never get personal. Secondly, besides, so what? So what? A little bit of privateness there between Dawn and myself, boys and girls. I cannot reveal what she's saying there, but so what, Dawn? You know what I mean? She says, secondly, you have mistakenly sent people astray again, Chris. What do you mean, sent people astray again? What are you saying, dear? What a cheek, dear. Anyone visiting Brighton should, in fact, not go to Harry Ramsden's. Now, that's where I usually go, and I love their fish and chips. But Dawn reckons, in her opinion, they should go to the chip shop in Upper Hollington Road called Friday. F-R-Y-D-A-Y. Clever, yeah. The best fish and chips in the world. She says, and lastly, I have been having some thoughts about further eco-friendly methods of fuel production for you. It must take a considerable amount of energy, electricity to run your show, and I'm in the process of designing you a human-powered system. So it will be powered by you pumping away under your desk. Pardon? Oh, sorry. On one of those old singers. Oh, what meant there, dear? Or on one of the old Singer sewing machine pedals. I could just sit there pedalling away for the whole show, producing my own electricity. Marvellous. And it might deal with the other problem mentioned above. No, we can't mention are you talking about my excess weight, dear? Though, as I said, we shouldn't dwell on any of that. Right, lovely time for bread in Brighton. Thank you very much, my darling. She also liked the sound of my sister's house, dogs especially. Oh, yeah. She's got 3 dogs at the moment. A little bit of bad news there, really. Bruno, which was actually the dog that, if you were watching the programme I did for my sister's house, Bruno was the first dog that jumped up on me. He's brown and white, and he's a spaniel. Well, she's been noticing him sleeping a lot recently, and all his gums have gone white. And she took him down the vet last week, and sadly, the dog has now got leukemia. And it's such a shame because she kind of rescued this dog and took this dog in, and it is so friendly and such a lovely animal. And she took it down, and it's got leukemia. And the doctor has, the vet has recommended, well, he's already put him on steroids. Unfortunately, the dog is now messing all around the house, and the vet also, he's I think Sharon, I think my sister said he's 11 years old, this dog, and the vet also suggested if the steroids don't work, that it could be given bone marrow or something like that, which is apparently very painful for humans. Is it painful for dogs? I don't know. I would assume so. And my sister doesn't feel that she wants to go down that route. It's nothing to do with money or anything like that. Because I said, if it's something to do with money, just let me know and I'll pay for the dog to be whatever's wrong with it. But she doesn't want to do the bone marrow thing because she says he is quite old and she doesn't want to put him through that. But they are trying the steroids at the moment, so I'll keep you posted for that. But, just a couple of weeks ago, as you know, I was up there. This dog was running around, bouncing around, and all of a sudden, it's like started sleeping all the time and gums all, and the poor thing's got leukemia, and it's just sad. And if it gets an infection, apparently it will be very bad for the dog and he might die from the infection or something like that. So that's some sad pet news there, and it's horrible. First of all, my little nephew Jimmy, apparently, when she first told him, because Jimmy is cheeky, he's a bit cheeky like me, and he said, "Oh, that's all right, Mum, we'll get another one." And then a few hours later, he came back and she says, Is he really? Please, Mummy, don't let him die." And all this business. Jimmy, as I say, is 11 years old, and it's really hit home now, and he's crying and everything. "Please don't let him die, Mummy," and all this, and it's just sad. Maybe he'll pull through. You don't know. So we have to just sit and keep our fingers crossed that that lovely animal will be all right and will pull through this time. Okay, on we go then. Just a reminder, it's another email catch-up programme today to try and get through these lovely things that you sent. And here we are from Ross P. I got an email from, or was it a phone call from Ross the other day? It was moaning because he's having to wait so long for his emails to come through. My dear Ross, there are lots of people. I'm trying to be as fair as possible, dear. I've even got a package here. Look, I've got a package here from Suko that has been sitting here for a week, and I intend to open that on this show. It will be opened on this show. Hello, Ross. And he says, do you live, because he's been watching some of the shows that we did from the garden, do you live on the flight path to Heathrow as there are loads of planes going over? Yes. Yes, that's very clever, dear. I do actually live on the flight path to Heathrow. Well, I thought it took you long enough to spot that one. Well, what do you think the planes are? Do you think they're just sound effects coming out of a speaker, dear? It's the real thing. You should have been here when Concorde was flying, because that would fly right over my house, and the noise was fantastic, actually. It was great. A roaring noise of Concorde flying over the house. It was great. Funnily enough, Ross, I was actually going to work on a Friday. I fly right past the airport at Heathrow. And I noticed Friday was a plane taking off. And I don't know whether he was very low or it took him away. It looked like it had trouble getting up there. Probably had someone's fat bum in it, I would guess. And this thing it did look like it was struggling to get up, and it just missed the tops of these cars as it went up. You know, you often wonder, don't you? I mean, I suppose they do all the maths and everything, didn't they, to make sure that these planes can get up with all the luggage and the people in there. He also wrote, have you ever thought of setting up an answer phone for your show where people can leave audio messages for you? All you need to do is get an old phone with a decent speakerphone and get a new SIM and use that number and put a mic to the speaker and play back messages. Put a mic to the speaker, dear? This is not amateur radio. What a cheek. Put a mic. I've got the proper gear. You can't see it. I've got the proper... I will show you, actually. How dare you? Put a mic to the speaker. My God. Hang on, look at all these bits of paper. Oh, I hate paperwork. All these have got to be dealt with at some point. Receipts and letters from people. Oh, what am I going to do with this now? Let me just show you this. Okay, I'm going to show you this little device here. Oh, I've just banged my thumb now. Oh, am I going to... Oh, I wish I hadn't started doing this now. I'll have to put it on the floor. 1 minute. Right, have a look at this. Okay, now this piece of... Oh, I can't believe the camera wire isn't long enough. 1 minute. How are we going to do this? We might not be able to do this. Hang on. That's it. You see that there, right? That's it there. This is a little grey box here. Now, this is a telephone hybrid unit. Okay, look. This here. Okay? Speaker to phone. I've heard it all now, dear. I mean, it may be like that in your flat. Bits and pieces all over the place. It's not like here in the mirrorball show. We've got all the proper gear. You've got to spend the money if you want to do it properly. That is a telephone unit, dear. Okay? And I can take live calls if I want to. And that's it. Speakerphone. Recorded messages. What are you like? Anyway, he says... he says, you probably have to do this bit pre-recorded and then just play it on your show. Ian Lee does this on his podcast and it sounds good. Oh, here we go. Ian Lee again. Ian Lee this and Ian Lee that. Why don't you set up your own little fan club for him, dear? All right? God's sake. Not one of my favourite presenters of all time, I'm afraid, dear. Ian Lee. It's rude on there. Anyway, it's rude, dear. No, he's all right, actually. He is all right. He has got a big fan club of at least 3 people, I think, actually. I jest. Hello to our friend Sean. Mr. Sean, how are you, sir? And he says, hello. Just been listening to Saturday's pod on the train and nearly spat out my tea when you were talking about shopping with your sister. Oh, please don't, dear. Never again. I think, you see, whenever I go to my sister's, we always have a day shopping because she belongs to one of those warehouse what are they called? Cash and carry, that's it. She belongs to one of those cash and carry things. I mean, I could myself belong to a cash and carry down here. I just can't be bothered with getting a card and all this blooming business because I am self-employed and all that. Anyway, so whenever I go up to Lincolnshire to see her, I go to this cash and carry with her as well. But then, she doesn't just want to go there. She has to go around all the shops. Oh, God. And then with if my niece comes as well, well, that's it then. They're in the clothes shops, aren't they? Looking at all these things that they can't wear. I just get fed up with it. And they spend a good half hour in the shop. Good half hour they spent in, what was it? Debenhams. Well, which I like. Don't get me wrong, I like Debenhams. Got a nice little cafeteria at the top. That's the one in Lincoln. Debenhams in Lincoln. Nice little tea place at the top. And I usually go up there and wait for them to appear. But you can just see them, can't you? Looking at shoes and boring things like that. Where's the excitement in looking at shoes and clothes? Please tell me. Incidentally, Sean, I am very excited at the moment. Do you know what's arriving? I got the message on my answer phone from Dell telling me my new computer is being delivered on Monday between 8 and 1. Now, that is something to be excited about. A gadget. Clothes? Puh. No, thank you. Not interested. Sean also says, also, I agree with you about your weight thing. I just can't be bothered anymore personally. Life is too short. He says, house tricks otherwise, all a bit quiet on the work front here, but otherwise dandy. And that's from my mate Sean. And Sean is a famous person here in the UK. Oh, yes. He was on a big radio station called Talk Radio. I think it was called Talk Radio UK when he was on it, wasn't it? And they rebranded it Talk Sport. He used to chat away on there for hours on end. I was one of his regular... Well, I would have been one of your regular listeners if I knew you were around. I didn't know you was around then, did I? We didn't know each other then. Yes. Thank you, Sean, for that. And thank you, incidentally, for the reply to the other little message I sent you via the Facebook, OK? Much appreciated for that. Yes, we do have Facebook as well. If you want to add me, you can do so, and you get all the updates of the show. Look for Chris Reardon London, Reardon, Chris Reardon London, and you'll see a little picture of me there holding a cup and having a cup of tea, OK? Click your add friend there and I'll add you to the list of updates. Don't forget the email address as well. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Hello to young Tony. Nighthawk, how are you, sir? Hello, mate. How's your luck? Thought we'd check in and say hello. Hello, and here's a picture of me. It's a very dark picture. He looks like he's sitting on the floor because Tony actually quite likes the open air life and he goes camping and things like that. Thank you for that, Tony. Nice to hear from you. And I think your brother has just joined me on Facebook as well, hasn't he? Yes. Young Tony. Was it Tony? And I wrote no, not Tony. What's your brother's name? Oh dear, I forgot your brother's name for a minute now. Oh, it'll come to me later. Tony also wrote, it's an old photo of me, 1984, long before the likes of Ray Mears, Bear Grylls, and the others on TV. I mean, remember when we were kids in the 1970s going over Wimbledon Common? Yes, I do. In the 6 weeks holidays, building camps with tins of beans out of Mum's cupboard to cook on a little campfire. And that was 1975, yeah. Yeah, I do. I used to belong to the first Roehampton Scout group in Roehampton. And, often in the 1970s, we went over to the Frying Pan. I'm sure you know where that was. That was like on the Roehampton side of Wimbledon Common. Big, like, dip. It was the Frying Pan, for those of you that don't know, the Common is like a big... I don't know if you use the term in America. The Wimbledon Common is a big grass area that is like... It's wild. It's not like a park... Okay, where all the grass is cut. It's like a wild area and it's like all wild grass and it's very nice. And there are pathways that go through it. The Frying Pan is like a dip, a large dip in the whole area, and the shape of it is actually like a frying pan, all right? That's why it's called that. And quite often with the Scouts we used to go over there and play cricket. Well, I didn't like cricket, but we used to play rounders and football and all that over there with the Scouts. It was great. I actually went back over there, I think November. I think it was November last year. And I went for a walk where I used to cycle across Wimbledon Common to get to work, because I worked in Wimbledon in the British Telecom building in Womble Road, which is now gone. That's now Posh Flats there, but I used to cycle right across the Common from Roehampton in all weathers. Oh yes, rain, snow, sun. Oh, it was beautiful. 7:30, 7:15, 7:30 in the morning, cycling to work. It was great. It was great. He said, I'm still building camps with the tins of beans out of Mum's cupboard to cook on a little campfire. That was 1975. I'm still doing it, but not on the Common, but in all the areas people say are inhospitable, like Dartmoor, Exmoor, the Welsh Hills, the Cairngorms. Where's that? The Cairngorms? I don't know where all that is. All for fun and a bit of peace and quiet. If you look at the audiofreak.blogspot.com, you will see a few more pics. I will have a look at that, a little more up to date. By the way, I look forward to seeing more shows in the open like you did in the woodlands near you. Be lucky, mate, Tony. So thank you for that one, Tony. Nice to hear from you, sir. Hello to... Oh, 1 minute now. Oh, let's just do the other two little messages from Ross P in Norwich, because he's getting very upset that he's had to wait so long for his emails. Oh, honestly, Ross, are you still with that girlfriend? Are you getting married soon? Because I do weddings. If you mention United Kingdom tour, I can give you a 5% discount. I'm all heart. And Ross says, let me get these in order. I heard you talking about your teabags. I went to Hemsby near Yarmouth yesterday to see my nanny and granddad with me, and Donna went to bingo. Oh yes, Donna is the girlfriend. He's obviously still with her. Donna, my nan, granddad and me and Donna went to bingo, and I won on the first game. I went to see what you could win with one win, and what a load of tat they had for one win. He said I ended up getting 80 PG Tips tea bags for the one win prize. I never even drink coffee now. Tea all the way. And he says, sorry to hear about the funeral, but I hope the day was nice. Yeah, my uncle died a couple of weeks ago now, Uncle Michael, and he was my mum's brother. And there are three of them all together. There's my mum, her brother Michael, and my Auntie Brenda, and she's still alive. And the funeral was a lovely day, actually. It was a lovely day. And I think I said in a show, a couple of shows ago, it was one of the nicest funerals I've ever been to. Really well done by my Auntie Renee and, of course, my cousin, Michael's daughter, Susan. A fantastic day it was, really was. Nice to meet people as well. Ross also writes, I'm now getting back up to date with your shows and have now decided to listen to them at home rather than at work. I just can't focus and listen properly to the whole show at work, as I have to keep getting in and out of the van, so now you have my full attention. Well, I should hope so as well, dear. You can't be listening half to this. You might miss something, dear. You might just miss something, all right? I'm going to have to do another talk show again myself, as I'm not doing any radio stuff at the moment, and have Mondays free, so now I could do them on a Monday, I think. He said, listening to you talking about the Golden Lion, and now that they come on with cups of tea, etc. When I was on Future Radio, which is a little community station in Norwich, they would never, ever ask me all the way through a 3-hour show if I ever wanted a breather or a cup of tea. Also, if I had guests, they would often be in for an hour, and I would have to actually talk back to the office and ask them sometimes for a drink. It's just nice to be asked, Ross says. I learned off my parents, the first thing you do when someone comes to your home is always ask them if they want a drink. Yeah, you're right. He reckons the reason the Golden Lion may have closed is quite simply the rising prices of everything and less people going out. We went to a pub next to the river last week and it was £3.40 for a pint of John Smith Smooth, which is very, very expensive. I bought it, but I felt ripped off. No wonder less and less people go out. And those two from Ross in Norwich. And, of course, have I moved? What have I done now? Have I moved something? Just a minute. Sorry, I thought I've moved something around then. Yeah, I mean, it just does. It gets more and more expensive to go out, Ross. Well, what can you do? Less and less people go out. then the people try and they put the prices up more and more, and it's just like a vicious circle. Unless people come in, and I don't know what the answer is. I'm glad, as I said before, I'm glad that I'm kind of at the last part of my DJing career, if you see what I mean. If there was a long line and it starts at 1 and ends at 10, I suppose I'm around at number 8 now, and I've got just another 2 to go before perhaps I stop the DJing. I would dearly love to do something like this on a more perhaps professional basis, you know, being paid to do it. A couple of people, who was it? Catherine was saying to me the other day, you know, you've got to go out and find someone who will take you on. And that's my problem. I sit around here waiting for something to happen, hoping one day that someone will see or hear the show and perhaps thinking, yeah, that's not bad, let's give it a go. I know it's not wonderful. I personally, you know, I look at or watch show or listen to some of my shows. I know it's not wonderful, but I just wonder if it is good enough for someone to actually pick it up. It doesn't matter where it is either. I'd quite happily go if for the right job. I notice what I say there, the right job. I'm not led by money, never have been, okay? For the right job, I would move countries. Absolutely, I would. I would do that. It's been suggested by quite a few people that this sort of thing would possibly go down well in America. I don't know. Not all over America. There are certain areas that are that perhaps it might not go down so well. I think it would probably be all right in somewhere like New York, where you've got a lot of different types of people together. Perhaps in some of the areas that are not, shall we say, more accepting of people, it might not go down so well there. But I don't know. I don't know. You know, we wait and see. That's all I say. We wait and see, all right? Got to say hello to Louise. Louise is a brand new viewer to the show. She watches via YouTube. Hello, Louise. And she says, I can't believe I've been a member of YouTube for 2 years and have only come across your show. Now, that's because on YouTube, Louise, the show's only been going for 6 months. Now, the talk show in its audio form has been going since October 2005. Okay, so we're coming up to 3 years old now, but we've only been on YouTube doing the video side of things for about 6 months now. All right, it was just kind of fell into that really. I had no intention of ever doing videos. It was someone that suggested, why don't you stick a camera in front of yourself and talk to it? And I really didn't think it would work, but it's not too bad. It does okay. It's now on 4 different types of things: YouTube, Current TV, Blip TV and Google Video. It's on all those 4 things, all right? So when you lump them all together, the kind of and it works, the numbers kind of add up, and it is really worth doing to kind of spread the word a little bit, if you see what I mean. You can, as I mentioned at the earlier start of the show, now subscribe on iTunes to both the audio and the video side of things. Just open up your iTunes thing, go to the podcasts. Okay, go to podcasts and then type in United Kingdom Talk or United Kingdom Talk Video, and you should find the shows there. Just click on the subscribe button and it's all free, okay? I don't make any money out of this. Right. I now make it a regular thing to do on most evenings. Love your show. Well, new shows, as I say, on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays via the iTunes button, okay? Heard on your recent show about the dreaded buggies. Yeah, I don't like those horrible little prams. They're not real. To me, they're not real prams. Those buggies for children are just horrible things. And I hate the word as well. A child buggy. I hate that word. I mean, clearly they're popular. Otherwise, people wouldn't buy them. And mothers seem to like. I was talking to my sister about them, actually. Just after I did the other show, and she said she had no problems with her. She had us quite a long time, so clearly they do last. Louise says, I haven't had to use one for a few years, but can say that I got through 3 of the things. That was in less than 5 years, so clearly that for you they didn't last very long. Maybe it's the way you're pushing those. Have you got children, have you? Let me have a look. I think you must have children then. Maybe. Are you pushing your children too far? I bet you go mad in those buggies, don't you? Do you ever have mad moments where you started running through the park at 50 mile an hour, banging it like a bumper car? Those poor children of yours. She said, when the wheels were going in the right direction, you weren't aiming for little old ladies. There would always be the fun part of having a fight with the rain cover. They were never very strong. Then you have to try and place the flapping rain cover over the pushchair in the windy, wet weather. And why didn't they make the actual buggy so difficult to take down? I seem to remember pushing a buggy or helping my sister with one or something. Don't they have, like, when you kind of unfold the thing, isn't there a ring then that kind of goes down over the thing to stop the thing accidentally opening or closing up again? Am I right there? Or two thick rings that go around the two sides of the buggy? I'm sure there are. She says, I'm sure they made them like this in the hope that you just have to keep buying new ones. Yeah, I think you're right, Lou. Lou's down in Hampshire in a town called Andover. Yeah, I've heard of that, Andover. I don't think you're too far from me, actually. I'm in Bracknell in Berkshire, incidentally, Louise, where they have the Twinings factory, which is the tea place. And Louis says, I remember hearing you say on one of your previous shows you do like Twinings tea. Yes, I certainly do. If you look on their website and register, they send out free samples. Oh, well, make a note of that. Hope you have a good weekend from Lou. I shall be signing up for that. Don't you worry, Louise. We'll get those free tea bags. Okay. Now, hello to young Terry Turner. Hello, Terry. Terry the Burger Turner, we know you as, don't we? We've all got a nickname. Have I got a nickname? Has anyone got a nickname for me? I'm just wondering. That's just dropped into my... Has anyone got a nickname for me? Not one that I'm asking you to make up now. Do you call me something? If you do, let me know. I bet some of you call him, Chris that Puff. I bet you do, don't you? Don't lie to me. If you've got a nickname for me, let me know what it is. I'm dying to know. I won't be offended. Whatever it is, just send it through, okay? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Terry writes, I thought I'd drop you a quick email to know, as you were mentioning instruments, do people play instruments? Terry plays the keyboard, recorder. Oh, do you remember playing the recorder? I bet you played Kumbaya, didn't you? Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Everyone learns to play Kumbaya on the recorder. And Faire Jacques. Faire Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sommele latima, I don't know the words, do I? It's all in foreign, dear. Terry says the keyboard, recorder and steel pans. My mate Nick from Pompey plays the drums. Where's I don't know where Pompey is. Also, just to let you know, I've got a new website. You can have a look if you want. Terry does some radio stuff as well. TerryTurnerRadio.com. All right, have a look at that. Sign his guest book. Say, hello, I looked at you from United Kingdom Talk. Chris sent me here from United Kingdom Talk. And sign his guest book. Because he's a lonely old thing. Poor old Terry. He needs all the friends he can get. And more burgers, possibly. All right? TerryTurnerRadio.com is the website. Have a look at him. TerryTurnerRadio.com. Would you be kind enough to sign a guest book? And I have done already there. Look forward to hearing you soon from Terry the Burger Turner. Thank you, Terry. Finally, more emails here from Robert. We've got our mate Doug. There he is. Tibby Guy. Chris, he's noticed that the video side of things are now also on Twitter. Yes, we're on Twitter as well. Gradually going for global domination. We've got an email here from the gorgeous Monica. Some more from Matthew. These will all come up in the next show. Finally, and Kieran, can we do that one quickly? No, I won't do Kieran's one quickly because I want to open this exciting envelope that's arrived from Suko. He's got the scissors out, and I've only got... How long have we got? 2 minutes to do this. So quickly, I have got some more emails from Suko. Suko's getting a bit impatient waiting for her emails as well. I'm sorry, Suko. You know how much I love you and your family. It's just that I've had quite a few bits and pieces to catch up with. We will. It looks like another 2 shows, and we should clear the backlog. Okay, it's taking a bit longer than it would. Lovely, always well wrapped from Suko. Suko says, "Oh, what's this?" Chris, how long we got? Oh, not long. Chris, enclosed are some CDs and DVDs, as well as some postcards from Provincetown, Massachusetts, on Cape Cod. I met a couple of the bare naked lads. What? Suko, you're a married woman. What's going on there? Send them over, dear. Send them over. They were so sweet. I don't know what that is, bare naked lads. Actually, I don't know what that is. I've no idea. They were so sweet. I'll email pics I took of them if I ever download them. Waiting for Jerry to install them. Have I got time to have a quick look at what this is? Hang on a minute. Let me move my stuff aside there. I'm going to have to be very, very quick. And I've got some envelopes. Oh, here they are. No, I've got a little bare naked lads. Is it a group or what is that then? Oh, yeah, they actually look... They don't look dissimilar to the Village People, do they? Buff, bawdy and brave, they take over the stage and deliver it to make it come alive with song, dance and wit. Delivered with a sense of humour and adventure. That's what we love. This actually looks really good. That actually looks great fun. That does, Suko. So thanks very much for that. I'll email the pics I took to them. Let me see. Waiting for Jerry to install it on my new computer. Okay. Well, I've got a new computer coming, Suko. Yes, it will be here. Oh, you've got a bit wonky. Hang on. It will be here on Monday. Also enclosed a flyer for a Go Green programme and a schedule for my brother's theatre in Greenwich Village. And I haven't got time to open any of them, Suko, because I've run out of time. Look, I've got all these little envelopes from Suko, and there's a DVD and a music. I'm going to have to go through these on the next show, at the beginning of the next show. Promise you, Suko. That's it from me today. Thank you, as always, very much for joining me. Don't forget the email address. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Say a prayer for my sister's dog. See you on the next show. For myself, Chris Reardon. Bye-bye.